Are you ready for another Roberta's rant? I hope so, because this one is near and dear to my heart, and I feel very strongly about it. So, if you're a leader and you have a direct report and you identify them as a high potential and you want them to sharpen their leadership skills so they'll be ready for the next layer or level of their development, one of the things I want you to consider before you send them to me or some other executive coach who is going to help them with their EQ is be willing to self reflect and to notice or just try to assess how approachable are you? How strong are your EQ skills? Are you good at emotional expression? Are you good at empathy? Are you good at interpersonal relationships? Because relationships at work and even at home, they are mutual and reciprocal. And look, I understand it's human nature. Sometimes we tend to forget this and we tend to focus on the other person and what they need to change about themselves if we're having a communication issue with a direct report or even a co-worker or somebody at your peer level if you're on the executive leadership team. So I'm inviting you, when you're tempted, to think about how that other person needs to behave differently. And you know what? Maybe they do. Probably they do, because I find that in communication and relationships, most things are a both and. In family systems theory tells us each person has a piece in that communication, and each person needs to sharpen their skills, most likely, because we all need to sharpen our skills. So when you're tempted to call the other person out, I'm going to ask you as the leader, as the boss, to be a strong leader, which means look in the mirror. Consider your own EQ skills. Which of your skills need to be balanced or strengthened or attended to? Because you will not appear weak at all if you decide to say to your direct report, I'd like to give you the perk of executive coaching, specifically focusing on your emotional intelligence, and I'm also going to do it myself. You won't look weak. I think that's what many leaders fear. Instead, you're going to look very strong and you're going to be modeling that behavior to your direct report, and nothing could be better. You may not realize, I find that leaders don't always realize how strong they will look instead of looking vulnerable. Well, even if you do look vulnerable, your direct report is going to be impressed with that, because it's good that you go first. It's good that you model the behavior to take the stigma off, any potential stigma off of coaching. Coaching is a perk, especially when the company is paying for it and then gifting that to the employee. That's a benefit. It's a great benefit because it helps that employee improve their skills. It helps them be more productive. It helps prepare them for promotion. It helps them advance. So if you're a leader, I strongly encourage you to find out from whoever you're going to hire to be the executive coach, what do I need to change about me? And one of the ways you can do this is to take the assessment yourself, the EQI 2.0. Like, say, if it's me, I'd be using that with your direct report. I'm suggesting you also take it and I debrief you as well, so we know where your skills lie. We know your strengths. We know the skills that you have to improve. We know how you need to balance all this 16 different skills so that you can be the very best version of yourself that you could possibly be. I strongly encourage this because often I run across resistance to this and I don't understand it. I mean, I can guess at it because I'm human too. However, I'd love if you are a leader and you have resistance to my message, please tell me why. What is it about it that's awkward? What would be uncomfortable about you taking the EQI 2.0 assessment before you ask your direct report to take it? Why would you resist that? What would get in your way? I can only think of the benefits, because the research from this model shows that if you strengthen your skills, you are going to be more personally fulfilled as well. Happiness and well-being is one of the 16 skills. Who would not want to increase their happiness? So please consider this and let me know. I really want to know what would hold you back, or would you be interested? Because if you're interested, I would love to talk to you about this. Thank you.